Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Mapped by Murder, where we will be taking a look at some of the most depraved international serial killers that you may never have heard of. Today, we travel from Taiwan to mainland China, where we will be taking a look at Yang Xinhai, known in English as Monster Killer. I will be using the standard Chinese pronunciation for names and locations to keep authenticity. The 3rd of November 2003. Local police officers were making a routine inspection at a local bar in Tangzhou, Hebei province. Whilst performing their inspection, they noticed that a man looked out of place in the bar. He looked to be very uncomfortable at the presence of the police. This was stated by one of the arresting officers who often frequented this bar and said that he had never saw Yang there before. The police spoke with him for several moments before asking him to come to the station and answer a few more questions. It was there, when they ran his fingerprints and DNA, they realised that this man was wanted in connection with several counts of murder and rape across 4 provinces. This is the case of Monster Killer. Yang Xinhai, also known as Yang Liu, was born on July the 29th in Zhengyang, Henan province. Yang was the youngest of 4 children. He was said to be very intelligent even from a young age. Many described Yang as being introverted and claimed that he never mixed well with others or can even recall him having any friends. In 1985, at 17, Yang decided to drop out of school and become a drifter, heading towards Taiwan, doing odd jobs where he could find work. He mainly found employment as a labourer, but he wasn't cut out for this line of work. Yang's first encounter with the authorities would be in 1988, where he was sent to a labour camp for theft. This had no effect on Yang though, as in 1991 he was sentenced once more to another labour camp for theft again. During his second time in a labour camp, Yang began to show violent tendencies, lashing out at other inmates regularly. Upon his release, there is little to no information about his life, until 1996, where he received a 5-year prison sentence for an attempted rape in Zhuhai. During the attack, the victim was able to bite off part of Yang's tongue, making it easy to identify him for the police. The victim's name was left out of all reports. It is rumoured by prison staff that he experimented with homosexuality while serving this prison sentence. However, this was not confirmed nor denied by Yang in interview. He somehow managed to secure himself an early release from the prison system in early 2000. 28 years old, Yang had now already spent 7 years in prison. On the 19th of September 2000, late one night, Yang was out cycling in Guozhuang village, Henan province. When he saw an opportunity to break into a house, he took it. Upon entering, he was soon startled by an elderly lady. He struck her repeatedly in the head with a hammer before casually walking towards the bedroom. There he found an elderly man sleeping. He raised his hammer once more, mercilessly committing double murder, successfully committing his first major crime. Less than a month later, on the 1st of October 2000, in Shaoying village, Yingzhou district, Anhui province, Yang would commit his second attack. He slaughtered a family of 3. 62-year-old Miss Yu Junying, her 7-year-old grandson Zhang Yatao, and 12-year-old granddaughter Zhang Yateng. He knocked out several of Miss Yu Junying's teeth. He left a large hole in her right temple and stabbed her several times in the right side of the body. The translation is not clear as to where he stabbed her. Yatao was stabbed in the neck, but this wound is not what killed him. He was then strangled with rope. Yateng died in her own bed. She was hit with a blunt object. She was found undressed and there were signs of being raped. On the 15th of August 2001, in Liu village, 42-year-old Xian, her daughter Liu Feifei, 14, and son Liu Zhitong, 11, were killed in their home. All were hit in the head with a blunt instrument. Yang had sexually assaulted all three of them in the early hours of the morning on the 28th of July, 2002. He attacked a family, Zhang Baoqin, his wife, Shang Chunying, and their two granddaughters, Huling and Zhang Huiya. The youngest granddaughter, Zhang Huiya, was only 12 years old. She was sexually assaulted and had her room destroyed. The 3rd of November, 2003. Local police officers were making a routine inspection at a local bar in Tangzhou, Hebei province. Whilst performing their inspection, they noticed that a man looked out of place in the bar. He looked to be very uncomfortable at the presence of the police. This was stated by one of the arresting officers who often frequented this bar and said that he had never saw Yang there before. The police spoke with him for several moments before asking him to come to the station and answer a few more questions. It was there, when they ran his fingerprints and DNA, they realized that this man was wanted in connection with several counts of murder and rape across 4 provinces. Those that knew Yang Xinhai described him as silent. However, when he was captured and in the interrogation room, he was very expressive, talking about the killings in a high-pitched tone of voice. He was gushing and showing amazing memory at his crimes. A police officer in Henan said that Yang's behavior when arrested was no worse than when he had recalled the details of the crimes from years ago. When he began to talk about the crimes he committed, his face was always covered with a smile. When the police, in the course of interrogation, asked him questions relating to robbery and theft, Yang had a look of disdain. He said,
"Those things, and what will it do? My crime was to kill and rape. On several occasions I grabbed some dollars in change, but when I left and I felt that I was away from danger, I threw them into the wind without a regret."
He also made a statement saying,
"When I kill people, I have a desire. This only inspires me to kill more. I don't really care if they live or die. I have no desire to be a part of your society. Society is not my concern."
Yang would appear in court on the 1st of February 2004 after pleading guilty to robbery, intentional homicide, rape, and intentional injury in accordance with Chinese law. He was passed a death sentence and was given 10 days to appeal this decision, which he declined. On the 14th of February, Yang would be taken out into an open field where a police photographer took his picture. A pistol was raised to the back of his head and a single shot fired. Sentence had been delivered. So, until next time, remember, stay safe. And if something has happened to you or somebody that you know in your city or your country and you would like me to cover it, please get in contact.